Okay, where do I fucking begin? Okay, so today I decided I'm gonna film a story time just to kind of like get this shit out of my system. I have a few really bad dating experiences that I'm from Texas and I moved to Colorado for like a year, and 3 of the 4 of these bad experiences happened in Colorado. And one, it sucks because they were so long ago. I just have to do everything from memory because I moved back from Colorado like a little over a year ago now. So I have to do a lot from memory, and I don't even have that phone anymore because I probably would still have like the text messages and Snapchats and stuff that they had sent me, but I completely shattered that phone. Like, not just shattered it, like digital screen, the whole phone is just fucking ruined. No getting any information out of it, like fucked that phone up. So I don't have freaking anything. So I'm just gonna have to do these from memory, but they're still juicy. Okay, I'm gonna do this one first because I think it's the longest one. It has like the most backstory to it. Okay, so we're gonna start with this first guy. Again, I lived in Colorado. At that time, I was a makeup artist for Estee Lauder, and I worked at a counter, basically in like a bougie ass mall. If you've ever worked at a counter, you know that 90% of the people you see are older women who can afford expensive makeup and people going to prom. So that's pretty much who I was used to seeing, who I was used to talking to when I was at work. So I see this guy kind of like piddle farting around, just doing whatever. Like, you know, when people are kind of like looking at this and, oh, I'm gonna pick this up and put this down, and then like, you know, just I'm gonna pretend to be doing something, and just like not really doing anything, but just like he's touching a bunch of stuff. So I was like, can I help you? Like, I wasn't rude or anything, but I was like, do you need help? Are you here like for yourself? Are you getting a gift? Like, you want to smell some cologne? Like, what do you need? Why are you here? He starts being kind of flirty and like telling me that he's seen me here a couple of times. Like, this is the mall that he normally comes to, and he's seen me here and he thinks I'm pretty, and he would like to take me out and wanted to exchange phone numbers. And normally I get super annoyed with shit like this because I'm at work. Like, quit hitting on me. I'm at work. That is so inappropriate. I don't come to your fucking desk job and like sit on your cubicle and flirt with you while you're trying to get shit done, okay? Like, just because I have a job where like, yeah, I'm standing around and I wait for people to walk up to me and talk to me, they're talking to me about some shit that they want to buy, like, or they want me to sit there and do their makeup. Like, I can't just sit here and fucking flirt with you. But it was like a very quick interaction. He was very like in and out situation, so I was like, fine, whatever. Like, he was kind of cute, so I was like, okay, whatever. So we exchanged phone numbers, and later we're like texting. We text for a couple of days, and we finally decide to meet up. He wants to take me to dinner. So I'm like, fine, cool. He wanted to surprise me of like everything that we were doing. Oh, and by the way, he like dresses really nice. When he came and hit on me, he was dressed super nice. Like, I thought he was like a businessman and that was what he did for work, but it turns out he just dresses like that all the time. Like, he just dresses super nice with like ties and bow ties and shit all the time, and drives like this really nice car, like a fucking Audi, and some like Audi A8 or some shit. I don't know. I don't really know that much about cars. Anyway, but it was really nice. And so he picks me up and we go to this fucking super nice, I don't know if it was like a 4-star, 5-star, anything like that, but it was like a super, super fancy restaurant. And he told me not to worry about what I was wearing. So I freaking am in like a t-shirt and jeans, like a t-shirt like this, like not even like a v-neck or anything. Like, I'm in a t-shirt, jeans, and like some old ass Vans that are like all stained and like ripped and shit. And it was kind of chilly, so I had like a Colombian like coat on. So at least I had like my makeup on and stuff, but I was like, we show up to this place and he's dressed all nice, and I'm telling you, this place was so nice and so expensive. And I'm like, I don't know, like, it didn't really bother me. I just thought it was kind of funny that like I fucking show up to this place like I don't even know if I put on jewelry. Like, I don't think I did at all. So I was like, fuck, like, I have nicer clothes, Jesus Christ. But anyway, he didn't seem to care, so I was like, cool, whatever. I'm telling you, this place was so crazy expensive. We got like this really nice meat and cheese tray, which is like what this place was known for, and for a good reason. That shit was so good and super expensive. And then we both shared a full-size pizza, and then we both got our own entrees. And just those 4 things. We didn't get alcohol. I was underage at the time. We only got waters, and those 4 things were over $300 total. And then he tipped the guy like so generously. Our waiter was really good, obviously, because it was a super nice restaurant. So then he takes me to this escape room. I don't know if like everybody knows what that is, but it's this thing. I don't know, it's a fun thing to do, usually in a group setting, but it was just us two, but it was still fun. He paid for that too. And then he took me to some other completely different place that was just expensive as the place we went for dinner. And we both got 2 individual desserts, and he paid for that as well. And I was so thankful. I didn't know that he was really gonna like blow cash money on me, right? Like if you asked me out to dinner, you could take me there or you could take me to Chick-fil-A, and I'd probably be just fine with either thing. That's just the kind of person I am. I don't know. But I was so thankful. I probably told him thank you like 17,000 times that night. So all is well. He drops me off. We leave, whatever. We're texting for a couple more days, and we decide to go on another date. So this time we go to some super bougie mall. Again, he picks me up and we just go and we walk around this nice ass mall. He had to get something specifically for some like picture, some shit he was doing. I don't know. And then, but I'm telling you, like, this mall was like probably the cheapest store there was like a Sephora. And that's like a makeup store where like some stuff is cheap and like some stuff is expensive. And that's like the cheapest place there was there. It was like a Coach store here, a Gucci store there. Like, you know what I mean? So we're walking around. He gets what he's actually there to get. And then he was like, you can shop too. Like, you can just get whatever you want. And I was like, what? Like, what? And he's like, yeah, like, seriously, just like go shopping, get whatever you want. I got you. And I was like, okay, like that's just not the person that I am, I guess. I don't know. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. That just makes me really uncomfortable to do for me. Like, I'm not just gonna freaking walk into Coach or Gucci and get like a fucking purse or a belt or shoes or some shit and like have you pay for it. So we go into Sephora because like, of course, that's where I want to go. And I got one thing. I got one palette that was like an eyeshadow palette. I think it was like the Peachy Mattes palette or something like that from Too Faced. I don't know, but it was like $50 or less, and I got just one thing, and that even made me like uncomfortable, but I didn't want to turn down his like very nice offer. And again, like that's just not me, but I was very thankful. I probably told him thank you like a bajillion times that day. Okay, cool. All is well. He drops me off. We text for a couple more days, and then we decide to go on another date. And I feel like the whole like other dates, just the fact that we had gone on multiple dates before this, everything was cool. We were talking every single day. And the fact that he was spending so much money on me, I just feel like it's all important because this date was going to be like the cheapest date we were going to go on and like super low key because we were just going to go see a movie, and it was like a Tuesday night. So he was studying basically for a promotion at work. And being somebody who was in college before, I was like, okay, you're studying, you probably want me to leave you alone. So we did text for a little bit, basically just solidifying the plans that we were going to have. Like, basically, oh, you want to see this movie? It's playing at this time and this time. What time works for you? Oh, 9 o'clock. Okay, cool. See you at 9 o'clock. I sent him a text. I'll see you at 9 o'clock. And then he said something along the lines of just like, okay, cool, or okay, sounds good. And then I didn't respond because to me, 1, that conversation was over, and 2, you don't want to be bothered right now. Like, you're studying. We made plans. You're going to meet me there at 8:45 or whatever it was. I don't remember the exact time. I'm just making that up. So I get there, I get to the movie theater, and it's like 8:45, 8:50, I park, and then I just send him a text like, okay, I'm here, I'm parked, like this is where I'm parked, in case he wanted to like kind of park close to me, and I don't hear anything. And then 9 o'clock rolls around, and I'm like, hey, where are you at? Like, are you on your way? What's going on? And then 9:15 rolls around, and I'm like, okay, like the movie's already like started, previews are probably over already, like we kind of missed the boat, like where are you at? Did you get caught up with studying? Like what's going on? Like I wasn't really upset or anything. I was just trying to figure out like where he was. I'm not that like, You know, I was like, oh, like, shit, we missed the movie, but Chick-fil-A is still open, so, like, we can meet there. It's, like, 5 minutes down the road, so where you at? Like, I really wasn't that upset. And then he finally responds. He texted me back and said, oh, you stopped texting me, so I thought that you weren't really interested in going anymore. And I was just kind of like, well, what would give you that impression? Like, you were studying. I thought you would want me to just, you know, give you some time to not be distracted and just study. And he was like, well, I wanted to keep talking and you didn't text me back, so I thought you weren't interested in going. And so I was like, all right, well, now that you know that I'm freaking here by myself in this parking lot, like, I hadn't left yet. I was just, okay, just itch my ass. I hadn't left yet. I was just sitting in the parking lot texting him, just sitting in my car. And so I was like, well, now that you know that I'm here, are you gonna come or not? Like, he only lived maybe 5 or 10 minutes from this movie theater. So I was like, well, now that you know I'm here, are you gonna come, or what, like, what's going on? Should I just leave? Like, what should I do? And he was like, yeah, you should probably just leave because I made other plans. And again, I wasn't overly upset. I just was kind of like, that's like a dick move, but okay. And so I just replied, okay. Like, I'm just not that person. Like, I don't really get that upset over stuff like that. At the end of the day, he just kind of, like, in my head, I was like, well, you just blew your shot, buddy. Like, we're not gonna date anymore because you just fucking stood me up. And so all I replied was, okay. And then this kid starts blowing my shit up, like, texting me, sending me Snapchat videos, sending me Snapchat, like, pictures with, like, captions and shit on them. And let me backtrack a second. On our second date, after the date, he let me drive his car, his super nice car. And that makes sense later because he got kind of like butthurt, but whatever. Then he sends me this long fucking paragraph, like, book of a text, and basically saying that, like, it was all a test. Like, it was so weird. This has never happened to me before, where somebody has tried to test me, like, in a relationship or a dating situation. I don't know, like, I've heard of that happening, but I just thought only ridiculous people do that. And I had heard of getting stood up. You know, I've seen that in, like, shitty Disney movies, but up until this point, my whole thought about it was like, I saw that in a movie and, like, nobody would ever do that in real life because that's so ridiculous. And then here I am getting stood up and, like, being tested. So he sends me this long ass text saying, like, this was all a test. I'm definitely not going to show up now because you obviously don't even care about me. I was just testing you to see how much you gave a shit about me, and you don't care at all. Otherwise, you'd be upset that I didn't show up. And I was like, whoa. Like, you're not going to turn this around and act like I'm the person that's doing something wrong right now because you stood me up. You did something wrong to me. So I'm starting to get, like, a little bit frustrated that he tried to, like, turn it around on me, right? I was basically giving him an opportunity to, like, talk his way out of this, or to at least, like, apologize for being a little weird. I was basically saying, like, you need to come here and, like, apologize or try to make new plans with me, or this is, like, gonna be all the way over. I was basically giving him an out, and he chose not to take it. So I take a break from reading his ridiculous text messages because he's just sending them, like, over and over and over. So I'm waiting for him to take a break so I can just read them all at once. And I go over to my Snapchat where he's sending me all kinds of videos. I kid you not. This guy was just driving around, like, randomly in his neighborhood on the streets, just driving around, taking Snapchat videos, like this in his car, like, driving, like, whatever, or, like, he'd flip it around and it would be, like, just the dash with, like, the little speed filter. Just sending me, like, he probably sent me, like, 10 of those, and some of them had dumbass captions, like, nobody gets to drive my car but me, butthurt, okay, and shit like, I don't need anything but my car, blah, 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 blah. He did car competitions or some shit. Like, there's some Audi competition that happens in Vegas every year, and, like, he did that shit. So he cared about his car a lot. So my bad for not giving a shit about it. Sorry. I just get kind of annoyed. You're sending me text messages, sending me Snapchats, and you're driving around, but you're not apologizing to me. You're not trying to make this right in any way, and you're not coming to where I am. So what the fuck? So I pretty much told him that, and then I was like, if you're not gonna come to where I am right now, if you're not gonna come to the movies right now and hang out with me, then just stop texting me because I'm like over this. And I never heard from him again. Cool. If you've ever been stood up, I'm right there with you. Let me know if like while you were getting stood up, you were kind of having the same thought process as me. Like the whole time that he's like texting me, Snapchatting me, I was like, this isn't happening. Am I in a movie? Because like this only happens in movies. Real people don't do this because real people aren't this inconsiderate. But I was wrong because I got stood up while I was getting texted by the guy. Like most of the time people get stood up and the person just doesn't show up and like never responds to them. But Jesus, man, like what the, it's so weird. So yeah, if you've ever been stood up, okay, like don't even worry about that shit. If you're watching this because you got stood up tonight and you don't know how to deal with it, you just don't deal with it, okay? There's nothing to deal with. It's not your fault that that person is an inconsiderate piece of crap who can't even take 30 seconds to send you a text saying that they can't make it or that they're not interested or whatever. I don't care what kind of excuse you can make. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what gender you are. I don't even care like what you're into. I don't care if you don't want to hurt someone's feelings. Do not just stand people up. It might, yeah, okay, it might kind of sting if somebody lets you know that they're just not really that interested in you, but it is way, way shittier to just not show up, okay? So if you've ever stood anybody up or if you're thinking about standing somebody up, don't do that shit. Just be a little bit grown up, just a little bit for like 3 seconds and just tell them that you're not interested, okay? And if you ever got stood up or if you got stood up like right now while you're watching this video, just don't freaking worry about that shit, okay? This is what I tell like everybody. This is the best relationship advice that you're ever gonna get. It's what I tell every single person that I come across that's having relationship issues or they're like about to give up on dating. Just know this, okay? There's a person out in this world somewhere that would literally kiss the ground that you walk on. So stop wasting your time on these idiots or these inconsiderate people who can't even take 30 seconds to send you a text, okay? All right? And if your feelings are hurt, just try to like let it go. Don't suppress things. I know I just did this. Don't suppress it, but just let it go. It's not, it may feel serious in the moment. It may feel really serious and really hurtful in the moment, but just think about this, okay? If it won't matter in 15 years, then don't dwell on it for more than 15 minutes, okay? That's the 2 pieces of advice that will get you through any dating situation ever, all right? Bet you didn't think there was gonna be a moral to this story. Gotcha. All right, that is all for today. This story was like the longest one, I think, of all the ones that I have. So I think the other 2 stories will fit into one video. So be looking out for a part 2 of my bad dating experiences. Other than that, I hope you just have a great rest of the day. And if you just got stood up, it's okay. Move on. Bye.